What is going on, guys? My name is Dirge and welcome to my first WoW news and updates video. Today we'll be taking a look at the 5.4.7 patch note changes, the new human female model, a couple of the rewards you will get if you choose to buy the collector's edition of Warlords of Draenor, and a few other things as well. So let's get started by taking a look at the changes to patch 5.4.7 on the PTR that just took effect a few days ago. Let me just start by saying, as with everything else on the PTR, this is all subject to change, and nothing is final until the release of the patch. Most of the changes are PvP based, so if you're into PvP, you might like what you hear. First off, rogues and warriors are getting a couple of their talents tweaked. I would only assume for balancing purposes with the new PvP season starting, but they have been going back and forth a little bit with which talents they will be changing and how. For rogues, Nerve Strike now causes a successful kidney shot or cheap shot to also reduce the damage dealt by player targets by 25%, down from 50% for player targets. No changes to the talent when used against non-player targets. And for warriors, Disrupting Shout and Pummel now both share a 15-second cooldown when either ability is used. Disrupting Shout's 40-second cooldown remains unchanged, but the ability will be unavailable for 15 seconds after using Pummel. The release of this patch also indicates the start of Season 15 for PvP, as the Celestials will all drop Season 15 Prideful Gladiator gear instead of the Grievous gear, which they currently drop. And this is a very recent change, but the Season 15 PvP gear is now purchasable at your faction's respective shrine in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, as well as glyphs. In addition, the rare mobs in Krasarang will only award honor points when they are defeated for the first time each day. Now, we've got a couple more changes for all you PvPers out there. The base resilience for all level 90 players will now be 77%, up from 72%. All players below level 90 will remain at 40% resilience. Diminishing returns for resilience have been adjusted for the new base resilience value, so you will still get the same resilience value per point. Battle fatigue will now reduce healing received while in PvP by 60%, up from 55%. And the set bonus for equipping 2 PvP trinkets will now grant 5,280 resilience, up from 2,600. There are a few more changes to the battlegrounds, well, Alterac Valley anyway, and arenas. Dampening in 2v2 arena matches will be applied at the 5-minute mark, down from 10 minutes. 3v3 and 5v5 will remain the same though. NPCs in Alterac Valley are getting some slight buffs such as increased health and damage. The bosses and mini-bosses for both Horde and Alliance, however, are going to be immune to disarms, dazes, and death grips also. Nothing too crazy though. And lastly, if you did not already know, the epic items sold by Mistweaver Eye on the Timeless Isle with the 476 item level will be bumped up to a 489 item level. Those of you who have already bought the gear will also have that gear upgraded on the release of the patch. If you would like to read the full patch notes or see if any other changes have been made to them since I posted this video, I will leave a link in the description below. So, here we have the new human female model, a lot more impressive looking than the one we currently see in game. They do not have an animated version of this one on the Warlords of Draenor page as of yet, but I'm sure we will be seeing it sometime in the near future, as well as some art of other models Blizzard is working on. In an article on the World of Warcraft official website, Chris Robinson, Senior Art Director, goes in depth talking not only about how they are designing and working to improve the models, but the ideas behind it as well. If you are interested in reading the article on how exactly they are working to improve these models, I will leave a link to it in the description as well. So, there was talk a while ago about some sort of Raven mount being implemented for Warlords, and here it is. This is the Dread Raven mount that players will get when they purchase the collector's edition of Warlords of Draenor. It does just look like a model overhaul of its predecessor, the Ravenlord, but it does have one distinct difference. It flies. If you're not familiar with the Ravenlord mount, it is the mount that drops off of Anzu in Heroic Sethic Halls in Alkandun. It used to only be available to groups of players who had druids that were on their epic flight form quest, but now it is available for all players to spend days, weeks, or months farming. So, if you have a few extra bucks laying around that you don't know what to do with, because who doesn't, then this is a pretty cool mount to have. Oh, you get this cute little Dread Hatchling pet also. Blizzard has also announced several more realms that are going to be connected, as well as the time and date they will be doing so, and they also provide a list of the realms they have connected thus far. Do keep in mind, Blizzard is saying the plans for these future connections can change at any time, but they will try to keep us updated as much as possible. If your realm isn't listed, don't worry. Blizzard hasn't forgotten about you. They just haven't finalized plans for some realm connections just yet. If you'd like to read more about realm connections, want to see which realms yours is connected to, or just want to see if your realm connection is in the near future, I will leave a link to this article in the description. There is an article currently on the World of Warcraft official website that has an infographic showing several fairly interesting WoW statistics, such as the rarest mount in game currently, and how many minutes of music and sound effects are used within the game. I found it pretty cool, and was surprised to find there is stuff on there that I didn't even know about, and I've been playing WoW for, let's just say, a long time. If you are interested in seeing this, I will leave a link in the description below. As for the news we've all been waiting for, the start of the Warlords of Draenor beta, there has not yet been any information given on a start date yet. But time is not slowing down, and there are no major content patches planned before Warlords. I can only assume that it's in the near future. If I'm lucky enough to get a beta key, I will be uploading Warlords content as often as possible to try to give you guys a better look at what to expect. In the words of Blizzard, it'll be starting soon. Aside from that, if you have not yet signed up for the Warlords of Draenor beta, or even the Heroes of the Storm beta, I would highly recommend you do so. That is, if you're interested in being in them. And don't forget to check out Hearthstone if you haven't already. It is an open beta at the moment, and I believe they are letting you keep whatever cards and stuff you earn in the beta, and having it carried over for when it is released. In any case, I will leave a link to each of them in the description as well. And that's it for this episode of WoW News and Updates. If you guys enjoyed it, please feel free to drop me a comment, like, or even subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.